In this video, we're going to talk about how to run for county commissioner. And if you've ever wondered how to do that, stick with me through this entire video because I'm going to show you not only how to run, but how to win an election. And at the end of this video, I also got a free gift for you, so stay with me. I'm going to start by making a few remarks about the importance of knowing the job. We'll talk about how to develop a network, both one personally loyal to you and a network of people who can help you win the election. We're going to talk about your jurisdiction and how to make sure that you know it well. We're going to talk about how to develop a campaign message, how to advertise that message, and where you find the money to pay for it. Let's start with knowing the job. There's something unique about county commissioners, or what they call county supervisors. Their job is unique because of the responsibilities that they have. And quite commonly, it falls to a county commissioner to maintain the roads, to maintain the bridges, to fix dangerous intersections, to be involved on emergency response teams when there's a calamity that happens in the community. Make sure that you know what the power is that comes with the office that you are seeking, what you have the power to do, because the voters that you encounter throughout the campaign will expect that you will know that information. If you do not, or if you sound clueless, it will not help your cause. How do you develop a network of strong supporters? Well, let's start with you. You probably already have one, you just need to ask them. They are the people you already know in your community. They are your family, your friends, your relatives, the people that you've encountered that know you and like you. You may have run into them in a church that you belong, or civic and community organizations. They may have been business associates. They may have been people that you've encountered at parties where you got to know each other and you had a cup of coffee thereafter. Where do you find all of those people who can be helpful to you in your campaign? There are three places to look, and you'll be surprised that you may know a lot of people that you've forgotten you know. Take a look at the people in your cell phone contact list. Thumb through it and look for people who live in your community that you could ask to help you in your political campaign by volunteering to go door to door or doing some other task that needs to be done. Take a look at your Facebook friends. Sometimes you'd be surprised as you go through those how many people you know that you've forgotten that you do know. You know what? Even if you're running for county commissioner and you have a college roommate who lives on the other side of the country, they may not be able to go door to door for you, but they could send you a campaign contribution. Take a look at your LinkedIn connections, because that is also a rich source of names in your personal network. Now, there's also a group of stakeholders that care deeply about who county commissioners or county supervisors are. They are members of your political party, what we call the political party leadership. They have enormous influence over who gets a nomination and the kind of support that candidate gets when it comes to the general election. There are office holders that belong to your political party. They've already won the office. They know how to win a political campaign. They may have had professional help in their campaign that they can introduce you to. They are a rich source of information, and it's very helpful sometimes in a political campaign if you can secure the endorsement of a known political leader that people like and pay attention to. There is a group of people in addition to those two who care deeply about who serves as a county commissioner. They are the vendors and the people who do business with the county, people who receive some of the county budget. And they're going to be very interested in what your attitudes are if you get there. It could be the people who sell concrete to the county or supplies, or it could be the people who pave roads. It could be the developers who are always looking for opportunities in a particular jurisdiction. Two other groups worth mentioning here. One, there are civic and community leaders that care deeply about who the commissioners are because they're in the business of serving people in need. And in some jurisdictions, ethnic groups have an outsized say-so in who wins an election, and they have leaders who need to be courted. Look at the leaders of ethnic groups if they have a sizable population in their district, because the leadership of different ethnic groups is another network that needs to be courted if you hope to win an election. You really should know your jurisdiction, and I'm not just talking about past turnout or partisan affiliation. Very difficult to run in this day and age without knowing the demographic profile of the people who live in your jurisdiction, the demographic profile of registered voters, the demographic profile of likely voters. If you don't have that information, you're flying blind. Now, what is it that you need to know? The age brackets of people who live in your jurisdiction, the income level of people, the race, the ethnicity of people who live there, the education level. See, the more you know about their demographics, the more you can finely tune your social media message to reach them with particular concerns that they have or problems that they're having that you can help them solve. And if you do that well, it's a great way to get votes. I'm going to touch on 3 more things, all of them equally important. Why are you running? If you don't have an answer to that question, you need to give it some thought. What is it that you hope to accomplish if you are elected? What problems are you going to fix? What inequities are you going to correct? How are you going to better maintain the roads or increase emergency response time? Or if you live in a place where it snows, getting the roads cleared quicker than may have been cleared in the past. If you cannot answer that question, voters will assume that you're running for the wrong reasons. So that's why you need to give some thought to what it is that you're going to do with the power that comes when you're elected to the office. Now, that's just one component of your campaign message. Voters are going to want to know what qualifications you bring to the job or what qualifies you to hold the office. They're going to want to know that your moral code and your values are in sync with theirs. They're going to want to know how it is that they can trust you to make the right decisions when they're not looking. That's part of the story that you might be able to come up with and tell them, that let them know how deeply you are committed to fixing a problem because of some experience you had where you saw it firsthand. If you can come up with a story like that, it's gold in a political campaign, because when voters hear the story, they know they can trust you. The final thing here that's part of a campaign message is ultimately voters love it when you can make the choice easy for them. Why you? Not the person you're running against. The more clarity you can make in the final stages of a political campaign, the better your message. Now, once you've constructed your message, you got to ask yourself how you're going to disseminate it. Look, if you live in a sparsely populated rural area, it's pretty easy to win a county commissioner's race. Get in your car, get in your pickup truck, drive around, say hello to the people who live there, tell them you're running for county commissioner and you appreciate their support, and listen to them talk about what they would like you to do. That is easy, and it's simple, and it's straightforward. But if you live in a jurisdiction that has lots of voters or very dense population centers, you're going to have to do some advertising to get what you want. What kind of advertising is out there? Well, certainly you can use social media. Facebook and YouTube allow you to advertise on their mediums, and it's a great way to target certain kinds of audiences. There's digital advertising that works very well. People often use what we call persuasion mail in political campaigns. Sometimes radio is very useful in a race for county commissioner or supervisor. And then there are different kinds of TV, OTT, CTV, cable TV, and commercial TV that are often used in large jurisdictions. Once you've figured out the most efficient way to disseminate your message, put it into a budget and construct the rest of your budget, which would not only include your advertising costs, but your personnel cost and the cost of setting up your campaign headquarters and paying for the help that you need to disseminate your message and run your campaign. When you have that, final thing is come up with a funding raising plan to raise it. That is a long and detailed process, and one of the things I'm going to refer you to here is a special video that you're going to find in the link description. I'm going to refer you now to a special video on how to raise money in a political campaign. You'll find it in the description underneath this video. Have at it. I'll tell you everything you need to know about how it's done.